Kai, episode 13, Skeletons in the Closet. It's your boy Icon with a Netflix television review for you, going over that Cobra Kai. And this was a good one. A lot of turns, a lot of surprises in this one. But before we get started, as always, hit that notification bell and like and or subscribe. Help me get my watch time hours up. And let's talk about a little Cobra Kai. So, so now the tournament's here. Like we got we got all the storyline stuff out of the way. We got the filler stuff out of the way. And now we're here. Sensei Kreese is doing the the apology tour, where he's back in the valley and he's talking to everybody, trying to make amends. His first stop is Tori Nichols, because they're doing a montage where they're just like, oh, it's Tori Nichols versus Samantha LaRusso, and then they're talking about all the tournament stuff. They got all the news reporters and everything, and everybody's being interviewed. So when when Kreese gets to Tori's house, she opens the door and she's like, what do you want? And then he's just like, I'm sorry I failed you. He's like, I failed you. I failed, Johnny Lawrence. I failed Quan. He said that I know you don't want me in your corner, but I've always been proud of you, and I know you're going to kick some ass. And then that's when she said, because it wasn't really official, because she never really answered Sam in the last episode, but it wasn't official if she was going to rejoin the tournament again. And then that's when she said, she said that you agreed to do the tournament. You signed off on the tournament. And that was kind of slick by Kreese, because he agreed, like when he spoke to like the Russian guy and everything, he agreed to sign off, for Cobra Kai to be a part of the tournament. But he told Kim and Kim's grandfather that he said no. And he did that on purpose to keep them out of the tournament. And then she said, what about, I think it was Yoon. She said, what about Yoon? Is Yoon going to represent for the males for Cobra Kai? And then he said no, because he sent Yoon away. He said that you're the only one left. He said that because Cobra Kai is basically under Kreese's name, under Kreese's tutelage. So he gets to call the shots. And, because of that, Tori's basically going to represent Cobra Kai all by herself, like no sensei, no team, no nobody. And he said he did it so she could be the champion, so she can, beat LaRusso, beat Zara, and she can become the champion. And then he was just like, this will probably, he said, I'm always rooting for you. This will probably be the last time I see you. And then she's like, does it have to be the last time? And he was like, I'm afraid so, kid. So he walks away and he heads toward the tournament. So now Robbie, he's training with his dad. He's training with LaRusso. Everybody's getting ready. And for Robbie, this is a big deal because, he's always been a bridesmaid, never a bride. Like, he's Mr. Runner-Up. He's Mr. Second Place. So this is his chance now to obtain glory and to obtain victory. Everybody else was there too. Like, Devin hasn't been there though. Like I noticed Kenny's there. Kenny's there. Hawk is there. Dimitri's there. Like everybody's there but Devin. I'm like, what happened to Devin? But now we're here. We're at the Sekai Taikai. Kreese pulls up on Lawrence. He pulls up on him in the parking lot. He apologizes to all the horrible things that he did to him. And then, Johnny soaks it all in and he's just like, whatever, man, I got to go watch my kid, become champion. So he goes in. And mind you, Robbie's still representing Miyagi-Do. Like he's like him and Sam they're still the captains and they're still representing Miyagi-Do. So they go down there. So now the fight starts. Amen. So, because at this point, there's only 3 episodes left. So like, let's just get to the action. That's why I was okay with the episode 12 filler, because for the next 3 episodes, we're getting into the gritty. So, we get in. It's Robbie versus Axel, like the Russian machine, the Russian monster. They reset all the points from Barcelona to 0. So they can get it on and everything. They're fighting. It's going exactly how you expected it to go, with Axel basically dominating over Keen. So then after he gets a pep talk from Daniel LaRusso, Robbie gets in and he starts to mount a comeback. He starts to land points on Axel. He starts to hit him. He's not catching up, because when they finished the second round, the score I believe was like 11-6, but that's only 5 points. Like Robbie can make up 5 points, and Robbie started getting the momentum. The steam started turning. He started getting to the point where he was getting his mojo working. And he was starting to, because up until that point, no one's touched Axel. No one's landed a point on him. Nobody's been able to get him at all. So the fact that Robbie got him 6 times was a very big deal. And that gave Robbie the confidence, because he felt like he's and they said, his dad said, he was like, he's just a man. Like he's not a machine. Like he's just a man and he can go down just like anybody else. Because of this now, the Iron Dragons, along with Terry Silver said he wasn't going to cheat. He sat with Lawrence and he sat with LaRusso, and he said that you get to pick the venue, you get to pick the refs. I'll do everything all on the up and up. That was bullshit, because him and the sensei dragon guy, like the sensei for the Iron Dragons, they told Axel to do like a leg takedown, and when your back is turned to the referee, who was a returning character from one of the original Karate Kid movies. He was a former Valley champion. He said that when you grab his leg and your back is turned to the referee, basically break his leg. So this way he won't be able to fight and he won't be able to continue. And that's exactly what he did. And it was unfortunate because again, like Robbie was mounting a comeback. Like Robbie could have beat him. But then like the kid Axel, he hesitated a little bit because you could tell he didn't want to win that way, but he listened to his sensei, and then when Robbie went for his kick, he grabbed his leg, he twisted him, and then he basically broke his leg. Daniel said something to the referee, and the referee was like, it just looked like both of them fell over, so I didn't see, he's like, I didn't see what happened, because Daniel was like, he should be disqualified. But that ended up not being the case. He didn't get disqualified. So Robbie's leg is broken, and now he has to forfeit the tournament. So when he was in the back, his mother was there, Tori was there. She was just like, she's like, I'm going to kill his whole team. And then he was like, just focus on winning. And then he spoke to his dad. And although he was upset again, because he said that, he's in second place again. Well, now I guess he's in third, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. He said second place isn't bad. He said second place is a good place. It's not a bad place to be. Because he's been second place in basically every tournament that he's been into. But he did get some notable wins, because he did get some good wins, some wins over Quan and everybody when he was in Barcelona. And he beat Miguel, so like he beat Miguel to become captain, like he was a captain. So him and his dad embraced. His dad told him he was proud of him and he loved him and everything. And then the two of them hugged and embraced, and like that was it. So the Russian dude, he said tomorrow we're going to have the girls match, to decide the champion. And that gives Cobra Kai one last chance to appoint a male competitor to represent them in the finals. If they don't appoint somebody, then Axel automatically becomes champion. But unfortunately, because of that, now that Robbie couldn't compete, Miyagi-Do doesn't have the ability now to catch up on points to even win the Sekai Taikai. So at this point, all the kids basically said, they were like, we basically lost. We're never going to catch up on points. So it's like, like we're out of the tournament. Like we're still in it. Like Sam can still compete, but we're not going to win. You know what I'm saying? So this is really just about Sam being an individual champion. And then even for Sam, she was just like, she's like, I joined the tournament in order to help Miyagi-Do, become victorious, to put Miyagi-Do on the map. But she said, if Miyagi-Do's not going to win the tournament, she's like, what the hell am I fighting for? She's like, what's the point? She's like, I don't want to fight Tori. She's like, Tori's my friend. And Tori can gain more from winning this tournament than I can. So she was like, what the hell? She's like, so why am I even fighting? And to me, that was very conflicting with what she said in the last episode, because she begged Tori to compete in the tournament. And it's like now and Tori was just like, no, I don't want to do it. And she was like, oh, you can't quit. You got to do it. And now like she's the one that's quitting. But, and then even Daniel, like Daniel felt bad because he was just like, he wanted to bring Miyagi-Do to the world, which he did. He put Miyagi-Do on the map. Like he brought Miyagi-Do to the masses. But he said that he also wanted to take down the bad guys and take down the Iron Dragons. And then he said that there's no way we can win. So he was like, what was the whole point of it? And then he was sitting in the backyard and he had a fever dream where the skulls from the original Karate Kid movie started attacking him. And while they were attacking him, just before they attacked him and they jumped him, the magic of CGI works once again, because to Daniel LaRusso's rescue was none other than Mr. Miyagi. And I do have to say, I've seen a lot of movies. I've seen a lot of television shows, TV series, etc. This is the best representation of CGI, of the use of CGI that I've ever seen. Because it's like, yes, people use CGI to create monsters, to do superpowers. Things like this, like using Mr. Miyagi's character, like in spirit form, using CGI to bring him back, to fight alongside Daniel and to talk to him and to give him one last lesson. That's what CGI is supposed to be. And it was very cool to see. And I know it had to be weird as hell for Ralph Macchio like to be in that scene. He did say in an interview that they were supposed to have, in that scene, they were supposed to use the CGI to have Mr. Miyagi and a young Daniel LaRusso fighting those guys, but they said they didn't have time to do him, so he got the adult version. But it was cool. And then in the end, that's when Daniel got all of his emotions out, and he was just like, "Oh, why didn't you tell me you fought in the Sekai Taikai and you killed a man? And why didn't?" And I was just like, Jesus Christ. And then he was like, "Daniel-san, you cry too much." And he's like, "You forget the whole purpose of Miyagi-Do." He said, whether you win or lose, whether you fight or don't fight, your principles and your honor is what's most important. So then, like, the next day when he woke up and he talked to his daughter and she told him that she decided she wasn't going to fight, she was like, aren't you going to be, she said, aren't you mad that I quit? And I'm like, if that's the case, why'd you quit? But he was like, no, because he said that the whole purpose, he said, and he forgets this, he said that the whole purpose of why he learned Miyagi-Do and the biggest lesson Miyagi taught him, which is a lesson he forgets sometimes, is that I'm teaching you how to fight so you don't have to. He said like the choice to not fight is just as strong as the choice to fight. And if you see no true victory, if you see no honor in taking up arms and fighting this battle, then you've embodied the essence of what Miyagi-Do was all about. And he was like, I couldn't be more proud of you for that. And he's like, and to not fight is okay. Like that, that's still a good choice. So the two of them hugged, and then the problem now was when they went back to the arena, they had to tell Johnny that. And Johnny wasn't happy because he was just like, he said, I understand why Robbie can't fight, but he was like, he's like, Sam's quitting, and he was like, you're quitting. He's like, Miyagi-Do was bowing out gracefully. He was like, bro, I needed this. He was like, I needed to win this tournament. He said, I don't know. He said, and he was very sincere. He said, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for your daughter. I'm happy for Miyagi-Do, but I don't know how not to fight. He was like, that's not who I am. He was like, he said, I legitimately needed this tournament. I wasn't just doing this for name recognition. He was like, I needed this. And then he saw Sensei Kreese walking out of the building, and then he followed him out of the building. So then when he went to go talk to him, he was like, yeah, what was all that bullshit yesterday with your apologies and everything? And then he was like, I meant every word of it. He was like, he said, I let you down and you were my biggest failure and I'm sorry and everything. And then that's when Johnny finally like tapped into his emotions, because he started crying and everything. He was like, I needed you, man. He was like, he said, you dumped me, you threw me away like trash. And in that moment, I needed you more than ever. Like you're like a father to me. And then, Kreese hugged him. He was like, I'm sorry, son. I let you down. He's like, I let you down, son. And, and everything. He said, I wish I could make it right. And that's when Johnny got the brilliant idea. And he said that maybe you can make it right. Because again, Sensei Kreese, he's the one who's in charge of Cobra Kai. Like, it's his dojo. So so what they did was, since Miyagi-Do bowed out of the tournament, the Russian guy said, he said that Axel would become the men's champion if Cobra Kai didn't name a male competitor to fight against him. But he said, fortunately, that's exactly what happened. And then he said that fighting for Cobra Kai in the men's finals to determine who the male champion is for Cobra Kai is gonna be Miguel Diaz. And I started gritting like I was like, that was actually a good idea, because Miguel used to be Cobra Kai. When Miguel won the All Valley tournament, when he became All Valley champion, he became All Valley champion under Cobra Kai. So he is Cobra, like he joined Miyagi-Do, but Miguel is Cobra Kai. And then they said, and the sensei for Cobra Kai that will lead Miguel Diaz and Tori Nichols into the finals, returning to Cobra Kai, will be Johnny Lawrence. And I said, God damn it, they were right. Cobra Kai never dies. Cobra Kai never died. Like, it was dead. Like, Tori was the only one left. She was the last remnants. They found a way to resurrect Cobra Kai, and I said, damn, that was a good one. Kudos to whoever wrote that, and it makes perfect sense. Because Johnny Lawrence, he was the original teacher for Cobra Kai when he resurrected it. Like, and if Sensei Kreese tells the board of directors, I'm awarding sensei-ship of Cobra Kai to Johnny Lawrence, and I'm reinstating Miguel Diaz as a member of Cobra Kai, that's within the rule book, because they were all former Cobra Kai. So Cobra Kai is back, because Cobra Kai never dies. And this is where we have to remember, the show is called Cobra Kai. So you can't kill Cobra Kai. Like, it's not about Miyagi-Do. Like, and this is another thing people have to remember. The show as a whole, it's not about Daniel LaRusso. It's not about Daniel's son. It's not about Mr. Miyagi. Cobra Kai is about the show, the TV show Cobra Kai. It's about Johnny Lawrence. This is Johnny's story. We are watching, for the last 6 seasons, we have been watching it's not even about Robbie, who's his actual son. The entire Cobra Kai series is about Johnny Lawrence and Miguel Diaz. This is their story. This is all about their story, their journey. They added Tori Nichols because they needed a woman in the mix, but this is Johnny's show. Like, so that makes perfect sense. And he's back, and he's back in the fold. He's going to be their sensei. He's going to train them now. and he's going to get them prepared for the finals, which we're going to see, in the next episode. But yeah, it ended with Johnny Lawrence, Tori Nichols, and Miguel Diaz standing wearing the Cobra Kai colors, ready for war. That was how the episode ended. That was some dope ass shit. Kudos to you guys for that one, because y'all brought Cobra Kai back. The pulse is still beating strong, and thank you for tuning in. So yeah, so we're gonna see in the next episode how this, how this turns out. Because now it's Cobra Kai. It's Cobra Kai versus the Iron Dragons. Cobra Kai now, they're the good guys, and they're going up against the bad guys, the evil Iron Dragon. So I look forward to seeing how all this turns out and reviewing it and sharing it with all of you. So check out my other reviews, because I have Harley Quinn up on my channel. For all you wrestling fans, I got my review for NXT Vengeance Day up on my channel, and I got episodes 11 and 12 up on my channel already. This is episode 13, and I can't wait to see you all for episode 14. 2 more to go for Cobra Kai. Check me out on YouTube, check me out on Instagram, check me out on X and or TikTok, where you can leave your questions, comments, and concerns, and tell me about how I'm doing. Don't forget to watch all my other videos all over my YouTube channel, because again, trying to get those watch time hours up, and so we can get monetized over here, so I can bring you guys more goodness for superheroes, comic books, anime, everything crazy, showcases, fashion shows, cons, conventions, and everything else in between. So that was it, guys. So thank you for tuning in for some more Cobra Kai action. We'll be back for the finals of the tournament, and until then, Cobra Kai never dies, and we're out this